If you've been paying attention to national real estate headlines or even broad Orange County reports, it would be very easy to think the market is still on shaky ground as we move into 2026. Mortgage rates are still elevated, affordability is a concern, and buyers in general are being more selective. But today, I want to talk about what's actually happening when you zoom in on coastal Orange County specifically, because the story along the coast is very different from what those big picture headlines suggest. When you look at the current numbers for Newport Beach, Corona del Mar, Laguna Beach, Laguna Niguel, and Dana Point, what you see is not hesitation. You see a market that's active, disciplined, and very responsive to pricing. Here's the short version. Buyers are not sitting on the sidelines. Sellers are coming back to market with more confidence than we usually see in late January, and the homes that are priced in line with reality are moving. What matters right now isn't trying to perfectly time the market. It's understanding how the market is actually behaving at this moment in these specific coastal neighborhoods. That clarity is what's protecting value for sellers and creating opportunity for buyers. As of January 27th, there are 536 active listings across the 5 primary coastal cities. What really stands out is how much of that inventory is brand new. Over 100 of those listings have come to market in just the last 2 weeks. That tells us sellers are re-entering the market after the holidays, and they're doing it with intention. At the same time, buyer activity is keeping pace. There are 166 homes currently pending, with 73 of those going into escrow within the last 14 days. For late January, with rates hovering around 6.16%, that level of absorption is meaningful. Buyers aren't waiting for spring. They're moving now when pricing makes sense. And this is something I'm seeing firsthand across these micro markets. Homes that are aligned with recent sales are getting immediate attention. Homes that are priced optimistically are being passed over. One of the clearest ways to see how this market is functioning is by looking at days on market. Right now, average days on market for pending sales range roughly from the mid-40s in Corona del Mar to the mid-70s in Dana Point, with the other cities falling in between. But averages don't tell the full story. Across coastal Orange County, more than 50 homes sold within the first 14 days, and those homes are consistently selling at or near list price. That tells us this isn't a slow market, it's a selective one. Pricing accuracy is being rewarded quickly. Despite higher mortgage rates, pricing across the coast has remained remarkably stable. Median prices still reflect the strength of each individual market, from Laguna Niguel at the lower end to Newport Beach and Corona del Mar at the top. Equally important is how close homes are selling to their original list price. In most coastal cities, that number is hovering in the high 90% range. And when you isolate homes that sell quickly, the picture becomes even clearer. Homes going under contract in under 15 days are often achieving close to full price, and in some cases more. Buyers aren't negotiating aggressively on homes they believe are priced correctly. They're acting decisively to secure them. Where the market draws a very clear line is with homes that linger. Once a home sits for 30 days or more, the data consistently shows a pricing penalty at closing. And this isn't just about seasonality. It's about first impressions. Price reductions don't reset buyer perception as effectively as pricing correctly from the start. Buyers are watching new inventory closely, and the earliest positioning still matters most. Another factor supporting the coastal market is the continued presence of cash buyers. Cash activity remains strong, particularly in Newport Beach, Dana Point, and Laguna Niguel. These buyers reduce financing risk, shorten escrow timelines, and are less sensitive to short-term rate movement. That steady cash presence helps reinforce pricing stability and long-term confidence in coastal real estate. So what does all of this actually mean? Coastal Orange County isn't slowing down. It's becoming more defined. Buyers are active but disciplined. Sellers are returning, but expectations matter more than ever. The market is clearly separating homes that are aligned with reality from those that are not. For sellers, early 2026 can be a very strategic window. Competition is still manageable, buyers are engaged, and well-priced homes are moving without the frenzy we often see later in the spring. For buyers, this moment allows for thoughtful decision-making before competition potentially increases. And the most important thing to understand is that coastal Orange County is not one market. It's a collection of very different micro markets, each responding slightly differently to the same conditions. If you want to understand how these numbers apply to your specific neighborhood, price point, or plans, walking through the data at a local level can make all the difference. I'm always happy to help break it down and give you clarity before you make a move. If you found this helpful, make sure to check out the full written market update. And as always, I'm here when you're ready to talk through what this means for you.